Hey everybody, welcome to Hockey Skate Down. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. If you want to join our hockey team, it's free. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell to all. Thank you all so much, and let's get started. So the rumors are going around again about Brady Tkachuk being possibly traded from the Ottawa Senators and linking him to the New Jersey Devils. So when I heard this, I was instantly satisfied with what I heard Mike Rupp say because I just think he's the ideal fit for what the New Jersey Devils need. I know the glaring need is for goaltending and defense, but this would help out solve that problem the Devils have with their whole soft play that they've had for this year and the past couple of seasons. So Brady Tkachuk would be a welcome addition by any Devils fan, but I know the Ottawa Senators fans are a bit upset about this. I know they don't want to lose their captain and star player in Brady Tkachuk, but the Devils can provide a lot in a trade for Brady Tkachuk. So let's talk about it in this video. So please stay with me throughout. So the rumors again are going around about star forward and captain Brady Tkachuk being traded by the Ottawa Senators. We heard this going around leading into the trade deadline this past year. GM of the Ottawa Senators said right away, I believe it was the very next day, he says, we're not trading Brady. He's an integral part of our piece going forward, and we want to keep him around for many years. So you heard that, you're kind of like, okay, maybe it was just a BS rumor going around. But now you're starting to hear it surface again going into the offseason where the Devils and the Ottawa Senators may look to make a big trade to shake things up. So that's where these two teams make a lot of sense. You have Fitzgerald and the Tkachuks. There's a family bond there. So that helps with the equation. You could have Brady playing closer to brother Matthew in Florida. That's something that can help out as well. There's just a lot of moving pieces, and the Devils can give a lot back to the Ottawa Senators in first-round picks. So, let's talk about Brady Tkachuk first and what Mike Rupp said on the NHL Network, because that's what kind of is sparking this whole thing as well. So, Mike Rupp on the NHL Network, one of the segments said, if I'm the New Jersey Devils, I'm calling the Ottawa Senators and I'm saying you can pick the roster here and go get Brady Tkachuk. Looking at Brady Tkachuk, I absolutely love this guy. I would welcome him with open arms to New Jersey. He's 24 years old, still at a very good age, entering his prime. He's currently making $8.205 million a year. He's 6'4", 212. Solves that thing the Devils need with that size. He adds a lot of that, especially with his gameplay. He plays a heavy brand of hockey, and his contract ends at the end of the 27-28 season. So the Devils would get 4 more years under his current contract of the $8.205 million. Looking at his statistics over the last 3 seasons, this season having a good year. 78 games played, 35 goals, 35 assists, 70 points to date. Last year in 22-23, he played in 82 games, 35 goals, 48 assists, 83 points. And in 21-22, he played in 79 games, 30 goals, 37 assists for 67 points. So right then and there, you see those past 3 years, he's been a very durable player. Since the 2018-2019 season, he's been a 5-time 20-goal scorer, a 3-time 30-goal scorer. He sticks up for his teammates. He plays with heart and soul. He blocks shots. He does everything out there. And that's what the Devils need. They need that type of player to stick up for Nico Hischier, stick up for Jack Hughes, stick up for Jesper Bratt, and just provide another player who can provide a physical element. The Devils don't have that. They've been bodied around a lot this year, and that's caused them to lose a lot of games because it threw them off their gameplay. And especially with star players, Jack Hughes, we've seen it get to him during the games where he's slamming his stick on the boards and the glass, and you can't have that going forward. So with this, it brings that intangible where if you have Brady Tkachuk on your wing, it allows you to play your game. It allows you to concentrate on, if I'm being a target this game or I'm being hit and bodied, you're going to have to deal with Brady Tkachuk. So that then and there is something that adding him to this lineup would help the Devils team out. It'd give those players a sense of confidence. It'd give them more confidence. It'd give them a sense of security where if I'm being hit and targeted, he'll step up for me because that's the type of player Brady Tkachuk is. He's done it with Ottawa. He's stuck up for all of his teammates wherever he's played, and he's one of those players you don't mess around with. He's a big body, 6'4", 212. he's a big body. He throws his fist. He plays a heavy brand of hockey. He's got that mentality where he can throw his fist or he can score you 40 goals, and that's exactly what the Devils need. The Devils lost that with Toffoli this past year. They're probably going to look for adding something in the offseason, and when it comes for the offseason in the summer, you tend to overpay players where you already know what Tkachuk makes. If you're looking at bringing in a player for $6+ million, $7 million to help out to pot some 30+ goals, you have that with Tkachuk. You pay a little bit more for Tkachuk, but you'd have him and exactly what you need. You'd have a player who can score and also provide that physical element that you're lacking and needing. So I'm all for this. I know it's going to come at a haul. I know the Devils need to concentrate more on their goaltending and defense, but there's ways where they can make that trade happen and this trade happen. The Devils are stockpiled with picks. They're stockpiled with prospects where they have their key pieces of players signed for long term, where you're not going to see a lot of these players break into your system, where you might lose them for nothing eventually. So if you can move them in a trade to help facilitate a trade like this, or to bring in a goaltender later, why not? This is the time to do it. You have your star players ready to go. Next year is going to be a rebound year where you really have to make big, bold moves in the offseason to really get there. So what Fitzgerald has on the books this year. He needs to improve the coaching staff all around. You have to bring in a bona fide number one goaltender. You have to work on, making your defense a bit heavier in front of the net. And you also got to bring in a forward who can help out, put some goals in the net, and also provide that physical element. And if you bring in a Tkachuk, you have elements all down the lineup now where it would be an imposing factor going in to play next year. You can have Tkachuk on your top two lines. You can have Meyer on that next line who could provide some, just hitting around. You have third line players who can provide that as well, and you bring back McDermott, who is, one of the toughest guys in the league, and you've seen what he's done. And, Devils fans, I love him. I want to bring him back. I want to re-sign him in the offseason. Hopefully Fitzgerald does that. We've heard Bill Spaulding and Ken Danico say the impact that he's had since he's been brought in, and it's just resonated down the lineup where a lot of players want to play just a bit more of a physical brand of hockey with McDermott in the lineup. And if you add Tkachuk to that, you're going to have that element as well where, like I said before, you bring him in the lineup, you have that confidence to go out and play your game. You also have that knowledge where if something happens to me, you have Tkachuk to deal with. So I would love this trade. Now let's talk about what they might have to give up. It's going to come at the expense of your 2024 first-round pick, which, looking at the way the Devils season will end soon, it's going to be a top 10 pick, which is good for the Ottawa Senators if that's the case. It's going to be either Holtz or Mercer that's going to go in the deal as well. So right then and there, you have another first-round pick. Mercer has had a down year this year compared to last year, but he still put up 20 goals. Holtz has around 16, 17 goals. And, he hasn't played a lot in the top two lines. He's played more of a bottom six role, a lot on the fourth line. And to score that much with not that much playing time, maybe 8-9 minutes a night, if you give him more of a role in your top six, if he can round out his game, he could definitely score you 20 and maybe 30 down the line. So, Holtz to me, it has more of a scoring threat than Mercer. Mercer plays more of a two-way brand of hockey, so we'll see who goes in that deal, but I think it's going to be one of them. Looking at defensive prospects, it's either going to be Shimo Nemec, which I don't want to lose, but to get Brady Tkachuk, I'm for it. The Devils have a good pipeline of defense coming up. You have Luke Hughes, you have Hamilton signed long-term. So you have Ball there as well. So you have players in the pipeline who, if Shimo Nemec is moved out, which it's going to take something big like that to bring Tkachuk to the Devils, that's the case. And the Devils have Seamus Casey in the pipeline for the next coming years. So, not years, but, so I do believe it's either going to be a part of the piece. Is either going to be Shimo Nemec, who they've seen play this year, and the way he could incorporate his gameplay into the Ottawa Senators, or Seamus Casey, who hasn't played yet, but has high promise as an offensive defenseman who should be in any team's top four in the near future. So, and then I also believe it's going to be a piece off the roster this year. I don't think it's going to be Palat. I don't think a lot of teams are going to budge on that $6 million a year cap hit, but I think it's going to be more so either Siegenthaler or John Marino, which can help compensate the cap for the Devils. I think it's going to be more so Marino because he's young, he's got a good cap hit going forward, he's a right shot defenseman, and the Ottawa Senators have Sanderson, they have Shabbat, they have Chikrin on that left side, so adding another right shot defenseman may help their cause. So I think that's the start of a type of trade that can happen to get Brady Tkachuk to New Jersey. It's going to be your 2024 first round pick this year, which is going to be most likely a top 10 pick. It's going to be either Alexander Holtz or Dawson Mercer. It's going to be either Shimon Nemec or Seamus Casey, and it's going to be a roster player. And maybe there's other picks and prospects if Ottawa can help out with Tkachuk's cap hit for a little bit. So we'll see what happens, but it's just interesting. You have that connection with the Fitzgeralds and Tkachuks being family. It's just a lot. I don't think a lot of teams can give up what the Devils are giving up. That's 3 potential first-round picks for Brady Tkachuk, and also other things can be thrown in. But I think the Devils will hold off throwing in other picks and prospects because they're going to have to make a trade for a goaltender in this offseason as well. So can the Devils do it? Can they swing getting Brady Tkachuk, bringing in a number 1 goaltender, work on their coaching, and just be ready to go next season? This is just an interesting tidbit that Mike Rupp said on that NHL segment, and I was intrigued. I love Brady Tkachuk. I would make this happen if I'm New Jersey. Comment below if you think they should go for it and get Brady Tkachuk. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate your time. Smash that like button if you haven't done so, and subscribe to Hockey Skate Down. It's free, and join our hockey team. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great night. Take it easy. Stay safe.